What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to this week's Square Gamers podcast, where average dudes talk video games. I'm your host. I'm Legendary Mike, and today, like every other day, every other podcast, we got Pedro Maribal. What is up, my man? What is up?
Bro, what is going on with you? That was a
Uh,
very glum introduction. Like every other day, I'm here
Bro.
with this asshole,
Oh my
Pedro
god,
Maribal. It's okay though, bro. It's a happy day.
bro!
We've had-
It's super hype week, bro. Like, I gotta curb some of my excitement so when we talk about the meat and potatoes of the show.
Oh, all right.
You know, I am
Carry
a
on.
butcher, like, and you were a produce clerk, so like, come on, bro. Like, I'm the meat, you're potatoes, bro. Come on, relax.
I got you.
You got me, bro. You got me. Okay, before we get into anything, guys, last week we talked about the Google Pixel, or a week before that, Google event, 2 weeks ago, I believe. Our boy Pedro here's got his hands on one. This guy is the phone guru. So he's going to give us a quick little rundown on the Pixel XL. He got it today, had his hands on it since early this morning. He's going to give us our initial impressions. Pedro, you got like 5 seconds, bro.
In 5 seconds, it's probably the best phone Google's ever made. Better than any Nexus that I've played with. Build quality is top notch. Camera is ready to go. Software does not seem half baked like most other Nexus phones. If you guys are fans of Android, have played around with the Nexus, you know that when you buy a Nexus, it is not ready to go out of the box. You need about a 3 to 4 month window of updates before little issues like the battery, like the battery drain. Maybe the Wi-Fi isn't working properly. Maybe the software just isn't optimized for the hardware yet. Something is just a little wonky with the phone. None of that is existent in this Pixel phone. It is ready to go. It is probably the best representation of what Google wants to see out of Android going forward. I love it. I think, like I said, I think it's the most complete phone that Google themselves have ever made. I mean, I wish it did have optical image stabilization, although the software image stabilization it's using is still very good. So those of you guys that like to take video, you don't have to worry about shaky cam because the software on this phone does do a lot to take care of that for you. Google Assistant needs some work. I asked a couple questions. It still doesn't answer every question that I've asked. For example, I said, "Hey, what's the best date spot here in Deltona, Florida?" It just gave me a list of restaurants and told me to pick from one. Obviously, it needs a little bit more integration with other services to be able to get it right, but it is a step in the right direction. Price-wise, it is up there with the iPhone and the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. That is also a negative for people who prefer the Nexus because it is a lower cost phone with great specs and an amazing like software reputation. But again, there were some corners cut with those phones. This phone is probably the most complete that we've seen, at least since the HTC Nexus 1, in my opinion.
How does it feel in your hands?
Oh, bro, it feels much better. I think it's easier to use in one hand than iPhone 7 Plus, which I did admittedly go through an experiment with the iPhone 7 Plus for the better part of a week, and it's just not for me. The iPhone 7 Plus is very unwieldy in one hand. I feel like I need to use it in two hands to be able to maneuver with the phone. This one just kind of it's very ergonomic. It fits. I like it a lot. The side, it's not too slippery. You don't feel like it's gonna like come out of your hand and just crack. So
Well,
I
that's
think
legit.
HTC did a good job manufacturing the phone for sure.
So, for a guy like me, would I go out and spend the $749 on this phone? Is it really worth the $749, or should I wait?
Well, for a guy like you that keeps their phones for longer than a year, 6 months, I would recommend the Pixel to be the phone for you, to be honest with you, because you are going to get the guaranteed 2 years worth of Android updates. So you'll still be at the late with the latest and greatest software. Hardware wise, I mean, the thing's a beast. It flies. So there shouldn't be any issues hardware wise for you either. Cool, but I mean, software wise, like I said, you're getting a bang for your buck because you will have 2 years guaranteed of updates straight from Google. This isn't Samsung blowing, steam up your butt. This is
Up our ass,
the
yeah.
company that makes Androids telling you this will be supported for the next 2 years. And for a phone this expensive, I mean, obviously the thought process is, damn, if I'm spending $800, I want to make sure I get at least a year to a year and a half, maybe even two, before I move on to the next phone. This one's gonna do it for you.
Well, that is it, guys. You heard it from the man himself about the new Pixel XL. Sounds like a good phone. I'm gonna have to go check it out at AT&T store, because I believe AT&T is the only ones you can actually get it from carrier, correct?
Verizon's the only one you can get
Oh,
it from
it's
at the
Verizon.
carrier. You will be able to purchase it at like stores like Best Buy.
Okay, so Best Buy would probably be your best place to get your hands on it, to mess with it and see if it's your kind of phone. But
Yep.
moving right along, guys. Um, a lot of people have been waiting about this next huge thing we're going to talk about. Red Dead 2, or Red Dead Redemption 2. The game was amazing when the original came out. I didn't play it as much as I would like to, but it was definitely like Skittles, to where you eat half a bag, you're gonna want to eat the whole bag. You can't save all, you gotta have the whole bag. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to completely finish the game. Now they announced it this morning, and fall 2017 is when it's supposed to come. I don't know too much information about it, but the trailer that was released looks amazing. The one thing that caught me off guard was some of the, like, panoramic gameplay they were showing at the beginning of the game, because as far as I remember, Red Dead was more of a desert game. But other than that, the trailer looked amazing. Graphics look great. Everything you expect from a Rockstar game, it's Rockstar game to the core, to what I see. Um, but we don't know too much. We don't know too much details. All we know is fall 2017. People are going crazy about this game because, like I said, Red Dead was amazing. What are you thinking about this, Pedro? Were you a big Red Dead fan, as the internet was, or you more like me, like right there on the fence? Like, it was a good game, but it wasn't worth all the hype.
No, I mean, I rather enjoyed Red Dead. I don't think it's one of the greatest games made of all time. I don't think that. I think there's a lot of hyperbole going around regarding that, but that's a matter of opinion. So if people think that that's one of the greatest games made of all time, then that's them. To me, I think it was a good game. I had fun with it. I think that was a good learning experience for Rockstar in terms of creating a nice multiplayer experience as well. Um,
Yes,
and that kind of showed with the next iterations of Grand Theft Auto after Red Dead was
Red Dead.
created and or was developed. Um, in terms of the trailer that we saw, it was actually rather good. I mean, I thought it's a minute and 9 seconds long, but I mean, it definitely wet the whistle for those of us thirsty for Red Dead content. I mean, you've got the seven banditos riding down what looks to be, uh, I guess you
A
could say the
grassland.
desert, like a
Yeah.
um, you can see a female character there. People are saying it could be a prequel to the gang John Marston ran with before he got to Red Dead. So that should be super interesting. I
Is that what
think that
people are
the
saying?
trailer itself looked beautiful though. I don't
That,
know about you, but I thought
whoa.
graphically, for the game to be about a year away, that game looks great.
What it might sound silly, but what caught my eye the most out of the fucking whole trailer, Pedro, was after the horses came down the hill and they ran by the camera, the dust and sand that came up off the horses' feet is what caught my eye more than anything.
Yeah,
Something that simple caught my eye because watching the trailer, I did kind of reflect back on Red Dead One. Granted, it's been so long since I've actually played it. For an open world game like that, if it's not RPG, it normally doesn't grab me. But I do remember this game grabbing me to the point where riding around the horse in the freaking middle of the desert was amazing, and finding these two guys having two guys tied up with rope, they're roped up their arms and legs and about to execute them from the back of the head. Yeah, that as long as they give us that kind of moments in this game, which it's Rockstar. I mean, to be quite honest with you, some of their story in their games are some of the best in the in the gaming industry. But fall 2017, there was a little thing that came out that caught my attention. Now, it's not the biggest deal, but it bothers me because I don't like the practice. But PS4 or Sony brought up that PS4 players will have something exclusive for Red Dead Redemption 2. And I was like, oh shit, really? So I picked up the article and I started reading the article. Apparently, Sony's pushing Rockstar to help them, to get, give them first dibs on the multiplayer experience, the new multiplayer experience. Now, from my standpoint, it's not the biggest deal, but what grabs me wrong about the situation is publishers and console manufacturers, Xbox, Sony. This doesn't do anything for your consoles. What it does is it looks at looks at the guys who have the Xbox and they, oh fuck, okay, great. Now I can't play the multiplayer until a week later after the PS4. What gives them the right to go, okay, just because you bought the Xbox One, you're gonna suffer? Like, you understand what I'm saying? People shouldn't have to deal with this, because of what console they pick. They're gamers. Let them all come out at the same time and be done with it. Now, I understand that Sony's probably giving them some money to help them to develop the game, and I understand that side of the business. But it bothers some people, and it doesn't bother other people. So I can understand where it gets a little misconstrued, but I don't like it. I don't like that practice. It rubs me the wrong way. Now, looking at your end, Pedro, what are you thinking about this? Because it might rub me on the wrong end. Does it really bother you, or you just don't give a shit?
I don't really see what they're trying to go for, though, man. To be honest with you, I see that I read that it's that they're trying to have first dibs to earning, some in-game items online. Does that mean? I don't know if that means that it's gonna be like a Destiny thing where you're gonna get like exclusive, uh, little side quests for the multiplayer or what, man. To be honest, I mean, if it's nothing that's going to be, um, game changing, or let's say it gives me, if it's something that's gonna be like, oh, you get this special gun if you pre-order,
Yeah.
or if you get it for the PlayStation, or you get this extra character, these extra skins, or whatever the case may be. But if it's just we're gonna give you a couple extra side quests because you're getting it you're getting it on the
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation. To me, that doesn't make sense, bro. That's stupid. Especially if they're gonna come out a couple months after on the Xbox. Just get it on the console you want to get it on. this is really just Samsung desperately trying to grab a hold of one of the hottest titles in 2017
Sony.
and say, "Oh, this game's played better on PlayStation." No, it's not. Stop it.
It's the same fucking game.
Yeah, it's the same game. You're gonna get one or two extra side quests that may not even be that good or rewarding.
Yeah, I agree. But you when you see something like this, you have to kind of think about it, because it's a big ongoing trend the last 8 years with this crap. I just hope they would, if they do it, don't make it to the point where it leaves a bad taste in Microsoft's mouths, or not even Microsoft's mouths, but the consumers in general. It doesn't bother, Xbox might get pissed off, but it bothers the consumers more. But we're gonna move on, guys, to one of my most exciting parts of the week. Pedro and I got to play the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare beta. Now, we got to play it all weekend, and it's coming up again this weekend. So if you guys are on PlayStation or Xbox One, make sure you download the beta, because it is open. So make sure you download it and play. Join the community on PlayStation, the Square Gamers, and the Xbox One community, Square Gamers. Check them out both there. There will be people on playing. Me, Pedro, and I will be playing this weekend. So be sure to get on. But Pedro, are you excited? Are you as excited as I am about this game? Because this game looks amazing, and it plays amazing. And yes, guys, it's been a while since I played Call of Duty. So to pick up this game and get pulled in is a big feat. Like, I'm a tough cookie. Like, I'm that oatmeal cookie that's been sitting on the counter for the last 3 weeks. Yeah, that's me. Like, it's hard to break me, but this game got me. It pulled me in for that Friday night when it released. So we got all kinds of stuff going on in that beta. We got to play. We got like three or four different game modes. You had Kill Confirm, Domination, Deathmatch, Defender. They got rid of Kill Confirm, so I was only able to play 1 or 2 games. Defender was kind of cool, but we're gonna give you a quick breakdown of everything.
How did you like Defender? Because that's the newest game mode out of any of them that we've played. Did you like it?
To be honest with you, without 6, I don't see any fun coming out of that game unless you have a party. Because to me, the one game I played in it was not very exciting. I mean, yeah, it was exciting, but no teamwork meant to where, like, I lost. I lost it. We lost the game, and I was like, "Oh, fuck this game type. I'm going back to freaking Domination," and that's basically what I did. So it didn't grab me as much as some of the other game modes did. But we're gonna jump into a quick breakdown. Pedro and I, what we thought of the game this weekend, which I'm coming this weekend. If they add more to the game, we're gonna add on to it next week. But as far as visuals, now, Pedro, are you in agreement with me that the actual game itself looks super clean and crisp?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The character models look good. The little cutscenes that they showed were pretty polished. I mean, everything looks super crisp. There were no jagged edges. I think as you got vertical and movement became fluid, you would think that the scenery would get a little jagged, but everything kind of worked pretty cohesively.
But a quick side note, did you know that they give you the option to turn off motion blur?
It does?
Yes.
That's dope.
So this coming week or this coming weekend, we're gonna have to test that. And so the guys who are playing the beta, if you guys are listening, turn off your motion blur. That'll make a big difference when you're vertical up on a building, come around a corner. That'll help you with your aiming down sights tremendously. Yes, I agree that it wasn't the game. Felt extremely polished.
As it should.
Maps. Yeah, the maps though. The maps were okay. I wasn't too. I mean, I was impressed, but not to the point where the maps blew my mind until they put out preset. That was that big the big Japanese map where you're fighting like in between buildings, like on the roads. Which, if you guys don't know, we have a YouTube channel. Check it out. Me, Pedro, and a couple other guys. We did a squad up this weekend. That's there, and that map. If you want to take a look at that map, if you didn't play it, check it out. That precinct map was awesome. I loved the way it looked. Not only was it Japanese, but it was big buildings compared to open area compared to that one small map they kept putting us in. I can't remember the name of the map where you're in outer space and every time you kill someone they float up. That map was okay, but I'm not really. It didn't really. It didn't. I didn't like it that much. But Precinct was awesome because it was big and open. It made you feel part of the game, or the immersion of that map was there because of the size of the map and the look of the map. It was bright in certain places, and you go down the alleyway, it was dim and dark like it should be because you're in the alleyway. The game had more lighting compared to the other two maps. What were the maps that stuck out to you, Pedro? Because I know you were hyped about that one map. What is it called? The ice map. The one that's kind of like on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, man, that one was pretty dope. There's a little area in the back of that map where you can hold down, like if you're playing Kill Confirmed or Team Deathmatch, and your team can just kind of hunker down there and kind of hold that area of the map as well as cover the 3 entrances. And you can literally just win a game by just hunkering down that area, which is super dope if you know how to do it right.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because you would come in from the side of the mountain, was your one entrance. And then you would come up through the 2 hallways, and the way that corner is set up, guys. Just so you don't know, picture like side of an oil rig alongside the mountain. So basically, it was like an oil rig. So you had railings. You had railings covering certain parts of so you could only walk up 2 narrow pathways and the side of a mountain. And there was enough cover in front and to the side to where you could basically work your way in and out of cover to take down your opponents as they came up. So, if for the people who would like holding down positions like that, that would be amazing because if you had 3 or 4 people coordinating, you can put down work. I mean, it would take the whole team to actually take down, 3 or 4 people in that little corner because of the cover.
Yeah.
So, as you were saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But as you can tell, I'm excited.
No, absolutely. I think that, that was a really good, an accurate representation of kind of the level of strategy that we were seeing 2 days in, which was pretty cool, man, because the first day, you and I just kind of spent around dying around maps and trying to see what's good, and we haven't played this game in years, so we were trying to get used to the kind of like how everybody played nowadays, and just the weaponry and the level of verticality, which, I mean, the game itself isn't as fast as what we were expecting it to be. We were expecting it to be Titanfall fast, and it just didn't deliver on that speed that Titanfall gives you.
No, and I mean I'm okay with that because each game has its own feel. Granted, we were expecting it to be faster, which game's still in beta. It could change before then. But as the game is right now, I mean, it's not a bad game. There's a couple things, like the level of the different maps. I want to see more polished looking maps. I want to see more diverse maps, and instead of being enclosed in those 2 maps, were just they're okay. I had fun, but they just were not. They just didn't. I didn't like them that much because I felt closed in. So it felt like I had to run around SMG, and I don't like feeling pigeon-necked or pigeonholed into playing a way I like, playing a way to win. I rather play the way I like to play and kind of switch my tactics according. But the sound of the game, guys, the only thing that I think me and Pedro and I are in agreement with is the firefights. It doesn't sound like you're in a firefight, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, I think they do a great job of adding in the male and female voiceover while you're fighting, or UAV now active, or the voice commands, or your commander does a hell of a job making you feel like you're in a war. But the guns sound good, but singly, like the game, like the actual firefighting doesn't sound like they would in other games, like Battlefield, for instance, where you're hearing shit blow up and it's like right in your ears, right in you're just like freaking out, and it pulls you in. I don't get that. Is that the way you feel too as well, Pedro?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't feel like you're in a small skirmish like you would in Battlefield. It's not a bad thing, but I mean, you don't get that feeling of immersion that you would get out of a Battlefield game.
All right. Well, it's good. It's even with that, guys. As excited as I am about this game, I I'm I'm gonna move on to the game modes. Now, the game modes were probably what's the word I'm looking for? The game modes were probably one of the most interesting things for me, because typically in Call of Duty games, I don't like team deathmatch. I'm not a big fan. Um, I didn't get to play sabotage, that's another one of my game types. I prefer objective based games. So Pedro and I spent a lot of time in domination. Um, Domination was great. I love domination, but I know this is Pedro's favorite game type, so I'm gonna let him take it from here.
Domination was dope. I thought that the maps were very well divided. There was a lot of fighting over B and every map, as there always is. It did add a lot more strategy because there were, um, mm, I would like to say, way too many openings as to how to get on B. Since it was just the two of us most of the time, we couldn't get on a team that kind of moved as fluidly as we would have liked. But I think once we get a team full of like four or five, I see us having no issues playing a rather competitive game of domination.
Now, one of the best things about domination, for me at least, is even though it's an objective based game, at the end of the day, it is action packed. Like you're constantly killing or dying and respawning and UAVing and striking, assaulting, all that crazy shit, and it's an objective based game. It's in my opinion, it's even more action packed than team deathmatch.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
Because I mean, there's the you're you're running to perform an objective, but while you're running to perform the objective, there's always going to be that person out there trying to kill you. So it is much more hectic than
yes,
a team deathmatch.
which I don't think we play team deathmatch at all.
Team deathmatch is
Um,
team deathmatch, man. That's just going to be regular everywhere. Uh, you're not going to see any nuances in a game playing team deathmatch. Just very vanilla.
okay, so we'll get into Kill Confirmed. Kill Confirmed is by far my favorite, and I'm extremely upset that I didn't get to play much of it because the Saturday night when it was put into the beta, I couldn't play. Now, Pedro, fill me in on Kill Confirmed, bro. Was it as dope as it always been, or is it
Yeah, I mean, it's as
lacking?
dope as it was, as how I remember it back when we used to play it. It also does add a very strategic measure to the game where it got Pete guys rolled up in pairs. So if you killed one and then the other guy got his revenge, he could always deny those points from you, which from your team, which is always good. Um, it really did cause for
Team play.
a sniper and a rusher to team up together. So a guy would rush, and then he'd have the sniper right behind him, kind of backing him up if things went wrong, or the rusher would serve as a decoy and soak up some bullets while the sniper would clean up right behind him. Um, and I mean, I know I for one was baited into many an attack against a rusher only to be sniped by a guy in a you know building a couple meters away, just staring at me, with the barrel of his gun. So it was. I learned a lot from playing Kill Confirmed, and I think that once you decide to get back on your sniper tip, we should have tons of fun with that.
Yeah, it's gonna take some practice. That's all. I only had 2 snipers unlocked, so one of them is like a slow bolt action, which is fine. But I've noticed in this game, until I get good with the sniper again, it's a hindrance because I typically miss the first shot, and that hasn't been that wasn't me back in the old days. So give me some practice, and we'll get right back to it. But we're gonna hit on a couple things. The actual rigs, weapons, and perks were awesome. We're awesome, bro. So we're breaking down to right now. Pedro, what is your favorite rig? I know you tried all 3 of them.
Merc.
What was that?
Merc.
Merc? Yeah, I agree. Merc was my favorite too. Or Warfighter, I think it was called. Warfighter is the first one.
Yeah, Warfighter is the first one. That's more of an attacker. Merc was pretty dope though.
Oh, okay. Merc was the big heavy guy with the big machine gun.
Yeah.
Okay. What weapon did you use most of?
The one that looked like an M4. I forgot what it was called.
Oh, the NV4. Okay,
Yeah, the NV4.
That weapon's good, guys. It's a lot of fun here, bro. There's a lot of fun to be had here. Now perks, I didn't get to lock them all, but tracker, I got tracker the last day and I used it the whole morning. It was amazing. It was the one that allowed you to walk or see footsteps and shit.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty dope one.
Yeah, and I didn't lock it until the Monday morning before I went to go into work. But guys, we're gonna jump ahead here and get into the big news of the week, maybe for the month, because it is going into holiday season. Up until the 4th is when it starts popping off. Nintendo has revealed something that could be extremely special for a lot of people. The NX was revealed. They changed the name. It's no longer, it's not NX. It's called the Switch. Nintendo Switch. Now, this looks extremely interesting, Pedro. One thing I will say up front is if Nintendo pulls this shit off, bro, it will compete with the new day consoles, with the Xbox One and PS4. Simply put, if Nintendo does it right, hopefully they learn from the Wii U, and they pull this off. Because what we seen was a hell, excuse me, a hell of a mobile / console device. Now, Pedro, what did you take out of this trailer? What you break it down for us.
All right, so in the trailer, what we saw was we saw a different Nintendo, man. This isn't the Nintendo that's just speaking to families when it talks about this console. This console, we saw no children in this commercial, man.
Mm-hmm.
We saw no children in the trailer. We saw guys our age, grabbing the or playing the place or the man, I forgot what the name was now. The Switch. I don't know why I drew a blank. Probably because the name is such trash. Anyway, the playing the Switch on the TV and then going on a bus and then playing it on the bus or traveling on a plane and pulling out the kickstand and plugging in some headphones and playing it that way. The Switch is I think being marketed towards us because we are the Nintendo fan base. We are the people that grew up with Nintendo when it was in its heyday, and they're finally recognizing that, you know what, maybe we should cater to those people that grew up with us in the heyday, know how good we are and know how good we can be. And that was what the initial push for the Switch was, man. I mean, if you look, you see swanky parties at rooftop parties that
Yeah.
the young ladies could bring their Switch to, and be the life of the party all of a sudden, which was kind of weird because
Yes, I agree.
we that's what our life is now, man. We go to swanky rooftop parties with video games.
No alcohol involved whatsoever.
No alcohol involved whatsoever. Just go with consoles. Kind of
Oh
weird.
shit. But yeah, you bring up a good point, bro. You bring up a hell of a good point. There's not one child in this trailer. Not one child. Which I think is amazing. Because what gets me about this trailer is they show crazy shit. Like they show that they're having third party support by showing Skyrim remastered. What?
Yeah, they show Skyrim Remastered. They show NBA 2K17, bro. They're showing games from developers that these are big time developers. These are games that people would love to play on the road, and that's awesome. But I'm gonna temper my expectations, man, because Bethesda, they were on the list. EA was on the list. Activision was on the list.
You know the list,
and they were all on the list for the Wii U. So back to Wii U, and they made one game, and we're like, "Yo, this is a dumpster truck on fire. I'm running away."
Well, I mean, okay, so the way I look at it is if this Switch, the Nintendo Switch, is as powerful as it is. I mean, it's supposed to be having an Integra or a NVIDIA Tegra mobile processor. Excuse me, guys, which is rather legit. I don't know how it stacks up, but it's to what I've read, it's actually a decent processor. So if Nintendo does this right, and they might have done it right, you never know. I mean, because I'm looking at the list. I'm looking at their list of their partners right now, bro. We're talking 505 Games, Activision, Atlas, Namco Bandai, Bethesda, Capcom, EA, From Software, which are guys who make Dark Souls. We got Gung Ho. We have Maximum Games. We have Konami, which fuck Konami. Sega. We have Cryoware, which makes a lot of Japanese games. They bring them over. Epic Games is there. WB, Ubisoft, THQ Nordic is there as well. So I mean, they have Square Enix too. Square Enix is the big one in the room. Like Square Enix, granted they were for the 3DS, but imagine if they give this backwards compatibility with some 3DS games. At least some of them. Because I don't think they should just completely X out the 3DS, because the people who have 3DS right now are probably going to buy their Switch. Because a lot of people playing the 3DS right now are 20 to 30-year-olds, considering their game lineup right now. So the third party is there. What is scaring you? What is making you hold back your excitement, other than the Wii U happened? I understand that. What else is holding you back?
I mean, we still don't know what the screen resolution is. We don't know what the battery size is. We don't know the main software of the console itself, man. I mean, it could be clunky to get around. You still have to find out what we're doing multiplayer wise, how we're gonna play with other people. Does this have a 4G chip installed? Is it only Wi-Fi? Will I be able to plug in my Ethernet if I plug it into the little home docking station? I mean, there's still plenty of plenty of questions to be answered, which I suspect will be answered later this month during their earnings call. Because what it looks like is that they have theirs, I believe, on the 28th, if I'm not mistaken.
And I think Nintendo Direct is coming up too as well.
Yeah,
Nintendo Direct is coming up soon.
There'll be another Nintendo Direct as well, but I think that they had to get this out of the way now, just so during the earnings they can get down to the nitty gritty and talk about those types of things. What they didn't show in there was whether or not the thing has a camera. I mean, what if I want to do mobile streaming on the go and want to use the camera in the tablet? That's what I'm waiting for, man, is like little stuff like that. I mean, if you tell me that the battery is only gonna last 3 hours while I play, I'm gonna be pretty pissed.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and that's probably one of the biggest things they need to get right. Granted, the way I look at it is, okay, if the handheld itself gives me Xbox One ish graphics, because the PS4 I bought the PS4 a couple months ago, and the PS4 does look better than the Xbox One. I've had both. The PS4 does look better than the Xbox One. Now, if they give me the Xbox One ish, better than Wii U, but it doesn't have to be as good as Xbox One. I'm realistic. Give me those kind of graphics on the tablet, and if I drop it in the gaming console, I don't want it to look like a piece of upscaled shit. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you take something like say for instance, if you take a 1080p screen or 1080p video and you try to up-res it to a 4K, you see a difference. That's gonna happen. So, do you think they're gonna be able to pull that off? Like, do you really think that this little tablet is gonna be able to be as strong as the Xbox One? Because that's what people are talking about. Looking at the things that we do know, the NVIDIA Integra chip, and then there's the GPU. It's the name escapes me. Sorry guys, the name escapes me. GeForce, yeah, GeForce GPU. Do you think that's gonna be able to do that, bro? Because
I'm waiting for you to shoot a drop, bro. I mean, it can't all be fucking, puppies and rainbows in Nintendo right now. There's got to be something. There's got to be something that we're gonna have to settle for, and it needs to come out very, very soon. Whether it be that the price is higher than we think it is because it's a quote unquote the perfect hybrid, or maybe the battery life is bad, maybe the screen resolution is trash, maybe the materials that are used are so bad that the thing is just gonna we're gonna have a faulty console on our hands. Something is gonna go wrong with this. There's going to be something that you're gonna look at and say, well, but I want to know what that well but is sooner rather than later, so I can make an educated decision as to whether or not I want to invest my time and money into this console. Because if March of 2017 is not that far away, ladies and gentlemen, and you do not want to be hyped going all the way to March 2017 to then be severely disappointed when you get a shitty console.
Oh, goodness gracious. Pedro's fell into a vat of awful consoles, bro. So, this guy is probably one of the most, what is the word I'm looking for, skeptic when it comes to this shit, because he's been burnt quite a bit.
No, I mean, look, it's the reality of the situation. There's got to be something that we have to kind of settle on. With the Xbox One, we got to settle for lesser graphics. With the PlayStation, we got to settle for the fact that there really aren't that many first party games that you're gonna play on the PlayStation, aside from on the PlayStation 4, aside from your Bloodborne's, Last of Us, and Uncharted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
So
I totally get it.
With Nintendo, what is it going to be? It's got to be something. If it ends up being that it is the graphics that take the hit, and we're getting first gen Xbox One Xbox One graphics style game where they're not 1080p, they're 900p, but they look like Rise, I'll take that.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, the thing that I look at is, as long as they give me decent graphics. I mean, I played the 3DS. I still play fucking Pokemon, bro. Like, graphics isn't everything. If they give me, they give us a solid console. It's solid build, solid performance, good battery, decent battery life. It doesn't need to be 24 hours, but at least give it a solid battery life to where we can go a day without it going on the charger.
Give me 10 hours of battery life.
Exactly. Let me be able to take it to work, sit in my my satchel or my backpack or in my locker at work, and me play it on lunch break, put it away, come back home, play for another couple hours before I have to put it inside the charger to charge. That's what we want. Can Nintendo deliver? Hopefully they learned from the Wii U and previous consoles that if they fuck this one up, people are going to turn their heads on Nintendo. And I don't think people are going to ever look back if they fuck this up. That's my opinion, though. I mean, because there's a lot of people who, the fanboys who would do anything for Nintendo. But coming from me, I don't, I'm not going to go out and buy this right away. I have kids. I don't need my kids. I got one kid got a freaking cracked tablet, and I went and replaced it, came back home, and fucking got another crack a couple days later. No, this isn't for kids, and I wouldn't buy this on launch day. And Pedro, you are not going to buy this on launch day either, are you?
No, I probably will.
You probably will.
I will definitely buy it on launch day once I find out what the
about that.
But
yeah.
If is going to be something that I can handle, then fuck yeah, I'm buying one on launch day, dude. Why the hell not? I want to play Nintendo again, bro.
And I get it, and I think that's what Nintendo's doing, bro, about this because the games they showed, the way they're playing them, makes you think about your childhood. Because back when I played Nintendo, there was no fucking internet, there was none of that shit. So me and a couple of my dudes in the neighborhood would get together, and we would be like, "Hey, bro, on Castlevania, did you know on the third level you can break the back wall and then do another secret level, like that kind of shit." You know what I'm saying? That's what it makes me feel like, that it's bringing our childhood back to the point where shit, I might be able to play Mario and actually enjoy it, because you never know. I mean, it's fucking Nintendo, bro.
Yeah, man.
I mean they've been around for fucking centuries.
Dope new Mario game. They showed Up-Res Splatoon, which I haven't played, but I heard was great.
Splatoon was good, bro. Splatoon was good.
And then an Up-Res Mario Kart, which I fucking played for hours.
I played that on the I played that on a 3DS. So I mean, on a 3DS it was a lot of fun. So I can imagine on the Switch how fun it could be. But guys, let us know what your thoughts are down below. Make sure you go to our Facebook groups /Square Gamers and our page for our Facebook /The Square Gamers. Let us know your opinions on this, because this is crunch time for Nintendo, and what they're showing is fucking legit. Like, if they pull it off, this could be big. This could be Xbox One and PS4 going, oh shit, we gotta work harder. We gotta make a better console. We gotta put out better games. We gotta step up our game. If Nintendo can make a console that has Xbox One graphics and you can take it on the go and plug it in your damn TV, that's a big deal. That's like big, that's big news.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this shit. And as you can see, Pedro has a lot of concerns, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys do too. So voice your opinions then in those groups. Pedro, is there anything you want to plug before we go?
Yeah, man. As always, hit us up. Facebook.com/group/The Square Gamers. Join that conversation, guys. Let's go ahead and talk about these video games. There's a lot to talk about. It's holiday season. I want to hear about what you're buying and what you are avoiding. As always, we're on YouTube. Mike's got his daily series. He's copped a PlayStation Eye, so he'll be streaming more. So catch him on Twitch so you can see his ugly mug streaming streaming video games.
You can see me cussing and screaming.
Also, Jay and Nate are doing an extremely decent job getting us up to date on the week's news, as well as giving us some pretty good reviews. They've got a review out for No Man's Sky, so definitely take a look at that, and let them know. Let them know if you agree with their decision on whether or not you should purchase No Man's Sky.
All right, guys. Well, this has been a Square Gamers podcast. Remember, I'll put all our links and everything else you need Square Gamer related down in the description. Make sure you click those links, guys. And we will see you guys next week.
Click the links.
Peace out, guys.